Alright, everybody. Some people have been saying that Ghost lasts for too long. That is false. Ghost has a very reasonable duration right now. Okay, now before I get into this video, I want to remind everybody, don't look at the duration of the video. Don't look at that at all. All I'm going to be doing in this video is watching Ghost. One Ghost. All I'm going to do is watch a single Ghost in action, okay? This is actually sped up a little bit. I made this actually play out faster because, you know, I thought we should get through this a little bit quicker, right? Like, who needs to dwell on it? So obviously, Freak, hallowed be his name, sent down to us by heaven, okay, in order to balance our game and make it a better experience for everybody, he decided that we should nerf Ghost by making it last longer. Ghost went from a rarely picked summoner to something that is used in every game on multiple people. This very intelligent nerf saw the usage of the summoner spell increase significantly. It made it significantly more frustrating, which obviously was the goal. Why else would you do changes other than to annoy people? So I do remind everybody, if this looks wrong to you, I sped this up a little bit. I actually thought it would be boring to watch the entire duration of Ghost in real time. So, you know, I wanted to speed it up a little bit, you know, make us get through this video a little bit faster, right? Because who wants to watch the entire duration of Ghost? I mean, not me, right? Like, it's such a short ability, right? Like, it doesn't last for any time. And it was clearly a very good call from Riot to nerf Ghost by making it longer, okay? So now we have very fair situations where people can use Ghost, especially at the early game, particularly in 1v1s. They can use that Ghost, and it only lasts for a couple minutes, okay? After those few minutes, it turns off and you can start playing the game against them again. Champions who need to hit skill shots or champions who need to get in range, sure, they're disadvantaged a little bit by a 3-minute duration movement speed buff, but, you know, realistically, it's not like it directly targets them just by directly targeting them in every single way, right? Like, it doesn't buff champions that are very frustrating. No, these champions who can just auto attack you and just need to dodge your skill shots with their infinite sustain damage definitely don't actually excel with this rune whatsoever. Definitely doesn't make 1v1s more frustrating. Who cares if we get increased its duration? In team fights, it's less powerful now. If, you know, at the end of a team fight, you don't have ghost duration anymore. After the team fight is over, you're not ghosting anymore, okay? And that was a huge nerf, okay? Who cares if we made it last long? It really didn't do anything. And the whole point of this video, all I'm trying to show people is that Ghost lasts for a fair duration, and this was a very, very good change. If there's any visual issues that you guys see here, that's by the replay. When I sped up the video, it actually caused some issues. You might have noticed it caused some issues with the graphics and all that. So I mean, all he's done is he's ghosted at me. He wasn't in range, but Riot decided that Tryndamere needed more range, which is a very reasonable thing to do for a champion whose only counterplay is to stay out of range and don't get stat checked by him. It's a very smart thing when you increase their range, and this has not caused any issues for the game whatsoever. It's actually just improved the game. The game is now a better game because Tryndamere has more auto attack range. So I mean, realistically, let's look at what's happening here. Not much, right? Like, okay, so what did he do? He was out of range, he ghosted at me, and he's just sprinting at me. This ability has a very long cooldown, being one of the shortest cooldown summoners, okay? So when we look at it from that perspective, you know, can you just blow it and run at people and use the absolutely ludicrous duration? Yeah, I mean, in a literal sense, I guess you could. In a literal sense, you could literally do that. But I mean, if we see anything from what's happening here, it doesn't last nearly enough time for you to really kind of be abusive with it, right? Like, you can't abuse it or anything like that, right? Like, there's no way you could just kind of blow it on a cooldown, running at people, forcing out, you know, either their health bar or forcing out summoners or anything like that, right? Like, you can't do that. There's no way you could do that. And as we can see, it is now ended. Well, I mean, it's not over yet, right? But it's gonna end here soon. And You know, it wasn't like he got a crap load of free damage or anything like that. It wasn't like he was out of range and just ghosted at me or anything like that. No. He very fairly, he got a good position. He spun behind me, way too far behind me. He actually spun out of auto attack range, right? And I used that to just move to the other side of him to flank away from him. So he popped Ghost, and now he very fairly gets some damage in on me. Damage that I obviously, you know, can easily take. Here we can see Tryndamere activated Lethal Tempo, which gives him more range. This means that Tryndamere is actually now at 225 range, which I consider to be a very reasonable range for a champion like that. We can see me going back into range. Did you know Aatrox's passive, that long range poke he does, is only 225 range? Yeah, that means that Tryndamere actually on every single auto attack now actually matches my passive auto attack range. I felt like saying that. So we can see that Ghost is still on, and that might seem weird to some of you people because he sprinted across the entire lane and Ghost is still on. But I mean, this has only been like 5 seconds, 6 seconds, right? Like it's about to end right now, right? Like it's about to end. It's not ridiculous or anything. No. This is like a normal duration for a giant movement speed buff. Okay, this is a normal duration for a giant movement speed buff to be at, because this is how much duration you want an ability that is extremely oppressive and extremely aggressive. This is the duration you would want an ability to be. So I did use my Q at the beginning of this trade. You can see my Q has come back off cooldown despite Ghost still being on. You might think that that's weird, like, oh man, Aatrox's entire Q came off cooldown and Ghost is still active. Yes, I mean that is literally true. Like if you look at it literally, yes, it's literally true. That is something that did happen, and that you would think that it's absurd that Ghost is still up right now. You would think that if you don't praise B to Freak, our Lord, our Savior, the best balancer, designer, decision maker I've ever seen in my life, right? Like you would think to yourself, like, something. I don't know. I've lost my train of thought at this moment. You'll notice Ghost is still on. He has actually looped around the entire terrain now, and now he's still in Ghost, and he is walking back to lane, and he is still in Ghost. See, I would go to trade with my passive hit for him, but see, the unfortunate reality of the situation is he's still faster than me. So if I try to go near him, I'll just end up taking multiple auto attacks because he is still ghosting. That is right. He is still in Ghost because Ghost just lasts for this long now. This is my reality. This is life now. This was such a good change for the game, and I love this change. This change has been doing nothing but improving the game. The game is a better game because of this change. How long is this video? I hope you don't look. It just keeps going. He is still in Ghost. I promise you, he is still ghosting. He is still in that Ghost, and man, it is just so fun to deal with this. He is now looped completely around the terrain. He has done a lap around the whole thing. He has now ended back where he is. How long is this Ghost going to last? I don't even know anymore. Is it going to end? I hope it is ending soon, but it does not seem to want to end. It just keeps going and going and going, and the Ghost is still not over. We're looking at the Ghost. The Ghost is still ghosted. It's still ghosted. It's still. When is this Ghost gonna